Kevin Stone is with us, who is America's most trusted and awarded hypnotist. And how are you doing today?
I'm great, Toby. It's good to see you. Thanks for having me on the program today. I'm very humbled by the experience and hope to educate your listeners and yourself as to
Yeah.
the applications and the mystery of hypnosis.
Yeah. Now we see hypnosis happen a lot all over the place and kind of know a bit about what it is, but I don't know. If I was asked to describe it, I don't really know what I'd say. So how would you describe it?
Well, hypnosis is a very natural, organic state of mind. We go
Mm.
in and out of hypnosis about 1,000 times a day. It's our natural state. It
Wow.
really is. Common forms of hypnosis are highway hypnosis, freeway hypnosis, driving along, and then you realize you missed your exit. It was about 3 exits back somewhere, right?
Yeah.
That's a common form. Reading a good book, watching a good movie, childbirth, yoga, listening
Mm.
to this program. It's all
Yeah.
hypnosis. Yeah.
Ah. And some people say that maybe it's a load of rubbish. You can't actually be hypnotized, and anybody who is pretending to be hypnotized is an actor. What would you say to people like that?
Well, I'll tell you what I've been saying for 25 years. I've been doing this for 25 years, and I've heard that since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
I also used to think that as well before I went to college for this, and I actually learned it and really try to understand uh, what this is really about. Because you
Mm.
see, education is power, and ignorance is bliss. And so, if you choose to remain in the mysterious side of it and not really learn something, then that's on you. Um,
Yeah.
so, everyone is hypnotizable. It's a very natural state of being. And it's not hocus pocus. It's not what you see in the movies or TV. That's what they do to sensationalize it and dramatize it
Yeah.
to make it look like that's what it is. And I'm a little guilty of that as well because I'm also a stage hypnotist, a comedy stage hypnotist.
Mm.
I'm a board certified hypnotherapist. I have a big clinic over in Beverly Hills where I treat this
Yeah.
medically. But on the entertainment side of it, that's where the fun part is, and you see some amazing things happen with that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think of all things, there's loads of things out there like psychic mediumship. I don't know if you believe in that. And I think of all those things, hypnosis is probably, for me, the thing I'm least skeptical about because I've heard real people talk about how they used to eat a lot of sugar, for example, and they've been hypnotized to not eat as much.
Yes, yes, that's the simple things to do with hypnosis, but you're on the right track, Toby.
Yeah.
The applications of hypnosis are endless. Whatever it is that you think about that you want to change in your life, you can do that with this natural organic resource. And so
Yeah.
you see, we are taught certain things in our world on how to live, how to do. We're restricted by government law and all of these things.
Yeah.
But we're not taught things for ourselves. But you have to remember this: all behavior is learned behavior.
Mm.
So if it's all learned behavior, then guess what? We can unlearn it. So that means positive or negative, right? But we're
Yeah.
not given the tools. Nobody ever teaches the tools on how to unlearn this negative behavior. So if it's the sugar issue, you're eating too much sugar, or you're smoking, or you have weight, or stress, or anxiety, confidence, we're not taught the tools to remove these things or deal with these things in our lives. So
Mm.
hypnosis is one of those tools that actually can help you to reprogram, reformat your subconscious mind, which is 88% of your brain's capacity to actually do what it is that you want to do. And then
Yeah.
remember, I don't have the power. I'm just a guide. I'm an
Mm.
educator and I'm a facilitator that helps you to understand and do your own self hypnosis because we're all doing it all day anyway. So I'm
Mm.
teaching you how to refine it. So I don't possess the power. We all possess the power of self hypnosis. And it's like
Yeah.
that little voice inside of our head that talks to us all day long. And that voice sometimes is negative and
Mm.
sometimes is positive. But for most people, it can be negative. Especially when you wake up in the morning, you look in the mirror and go, oh, I look horrible, I feel horrible. And you're already giving yourself these negative suggestions.
Yeah, for sure. Can hypnosis sometimes be a dangerous thing to go through?
Yeah, that's a good question because I get that a lot too.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Again, anything natural or organic generally isn't dangerous whatsoever. There's no danger with it at all because we're doing it all of the time, and it's actually happening around us all of the time. So I tell people, why not be in control of what is happening around you instead of you being in control of the environment taking control of you?
Yeah. Well, I suppose maybe it's time to test your skills. Are you able to maybe perform something on me just now?
Absolutely. I want to show you some things on how suggestibility works and how, again, we're all suggestible to everything around us. We just don't realize that. But once we understand and do realize it, then you understand the applications in the tool of hypnosis where you now are in full control. You see, we think we're in control all day long of what's happening around us, and that's not really the case. Commercialism uses the power of suggestibility, and most people don't even realize that. Yeah. And it started in the 60s. And so let's do some things with you, and I'll show you. And if the listening audience wants to try along with this, they can do that as well. Okay. So what I need you to do, Toby, is, first of all, I need to ask your permission. Do I have your permission to go into hypnosis?
Yes.
Excellent. You sound pretty excited about that.
Maybe a little bit scared as well.
That's okay. That's a very common reaction as well. People have anxiety about it because we have anxiety about the unknown and what we're not sure about. That's why I tell people, educate yourself. Really, there's a lot of information about hypnosis and other things that you don't know about. It's there. All you can do is Google it, check it out for yourself, and then explore it for yourself, or contact somebody like me, a professional hypnotist who understands and can help guide you on what you need to do. So let's try something with you and the listening audience. So what I need you to do, Toby, is I need you to sit up straight as you possibly can, feet flat on the floor. Now take your hands, put them together just like this. Excellent. Now, what I need you to do is go ahead and fold them down just like that. So if you're listening, what we're doing is we've now folded both of our hands down as if we're almost into a prayer mode. And then you're going to take your two pointing fingers, your index fingers, you're going to stick them straight up. There you go. And you're going to put them about 1 inch apart, just like that. There you go, Toby. Now don't look at me, look directly down the center of your two fingers. And what I want you to do now is focus and concentrate on the sound of my voice. And you will find that starting right now, those two fingers will start to move in closer and closer together. Just there's two magnets on each finger to continue to pull and tug and pull closer, closer, closer. Now they will touch. When they do touch, you're going to reach the height of your suggestibility as they continue to move in, pulling and tugging, pulling closer, 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 touching. And everybody relax. How do you feel, Toby?
Yeah, fine, I think.
Now you're asking yourself, how in the world, right?
Yeah. I've seen that kind of thing done before. I think, were my fingers actually moving closer, or was it a kind of visual trick?
That is the pure power of suggestion. And as a hypnotist, what I'm doing is I'm finding how you communicate and how your brain receives communication. And what I mean by that is I'm using words. That's what hypnotists do. I don't, notice today I didn't bring the watch. And as you can see, as some of the famous posters behind me, those are famous movie posters. And the one here is actually The Great Jester from the 1800s, which he was a very famous hypnotist. And you can see all of these things that they utilize, hypno discs and watches and all of these things. These things don't hypnotize you. You can utilize those things, and they generally are used when I hypnotize children because they like to focus on a certain thing. So we get the watch out, and again, this is what people are familiar with. So you can actually facilitate hypnosis with that, but that's not how it's done. Hypnosis is actually done with words. And it's the words we just actually used to allow your fingers to take the suggestion and to move in closer and closer and then eventually touch. Now, some of your listeners trying along probably didn't have the fingers coming in touch. The reason for that is because you're not allowing your mind to receive the suggestions. Your critical factor is blocking what is happening because of your fear, your anxiety, your concern. So these are the things that we put up as a protective blanket that doesn't allow something to happen. So that's why your next question is going to be, can I hypnotize somebody to go rob a bank or do something that they don't normally do? The answer is no. You will not do anything against your will. And in actuality, being in a hypnotic state, you're much more in control than you are in the state of mind that you're in now, which is called environmental state. Yeah. So all of your faculties, your sense of hearing, touch, smell, become increased and amplified by more than 10 times when you're in a hypnotic state. So therefore, you're much more in control. Again, all I am as the hypnotist is the guide, is the facilitator. I'm helping you guide your own self-hypnotic state of where you want to go. So if it's improving your lifestyle and removing negatives and replacing with positives, then therefore so be it. If it's a comedy stage hypnosis show, then we're doing comedy fun things. Or if we're doing something as simple as taking the fingers and giving the powerful suggestion, and you can just sit there all day long and look down the center of the two fingers and they will never move because you don't want them to move. But your mind received the information. And I understood how your mind understands and receives information. So therefore, I was giving the proper wording so your mind receives that. Therefore, the fingers are going to move. So let's try something else.
Okay.
So sit up straight again, feet flat on the floor.
Okay.
Now, all you have to do is take your arms, extend them all the way out. You go. Now put them kind of, no, not that way, close together so they're in front of you, Toby.
All right, like this.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So go ahead and take your arms, extend them out just like that. And if you're listening along, this is great for everyone to do this as well. So put your arms up so I can see them a little bit. There you go. Good. All you have to do now, Toby, is go ahead and close your eyes. Focus and concentrate on my voice once again. Again, you're in full control. All you have to do is focus and concentrate on my voice. All the outside sounds are normal everyday sounds. Just disregard them. Anything you hear will help you to focus and concentrate and allow yourself to experience a phenomenon that you didn't think you could do. So I want you to visualize. I want you to imagine. I want you to think that I've just placed on one of your hands, Toby. You decide you're in full control. A giant bowling ball. One, you start to feel the texture of the ball in your mind. You start to feel the texture of hot, cold, rough, smooth. You decide. It's completely in your control. Two, you start to feel the weight of the ball. As you do, so does your hand. As it starts to drag down now, becoming heavier and heavier now at the sound of my voice. The more you resist the weight of that ball, the heavier it gets. Now, on the other hand and arm, I want you to visualize, imagine, think about, Toby, that I've just tied a beautiful bouquet of balloons with a long white string on your wrist. And you start to feel that hand lifting and rising and lifting into the sky as the other hand becomes heavier and heavier now at the sound of my voice, lifting and rising and lifting, the other hand becoming heavier. And I want you to freeze. Don't move, Toby. Open your eyes. See how well you've concentrated.
Wow, that's amazing. I completely felt that. I mean, it's mad.
Yes. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Again, this is all suggestibility. You are now officially hypnotized, and you thought you were going to feel some weird experience or something that actually happened to you. This is what people think because of what they see in the movies or on television, that this weird phenomenon is going to happen to them. In actuality, you become completely aware of what's happening. Some people don't. It depends on your personality. The analyticals analyze the process the entire time and actually keep themselves from experiencing this ultra state of relaxation. But this is just some of the things that I show people visually so you can see for yourself how you're suggestible and the rest of your listening audience is so suggestible and you don't even realize it.
Yeah. I mean, that's incredible. So how does it work in terms of getting people to not eat as much sugar or try and quit smoking? Do you do a kind of similar focusing thing, but instead talk about just what you want them to stop doing?
But yes, again, your mind is like a computer. So
Mm.
I want you to think about now, Toby, that I want you to think of a circle. Now you can make the circle as big as you want or as small as you want.
Do I
But
have to close my eyes?
no
Okay.
closing your eyes this time. This is just you and I talking and people listening. I'm educating
Yeah.
everyone at this point. So through the circle, I want you to draw a horizontal line. So the top part of that circle, on the top part of the line, is going to represent your conscious mind, which is 12% of your brain's capacity. The
Yeah.
line we're going to get to in a moment is called your critical factor, and below the line is your subconscious mind, which is 88% of your brain's capacity. Now you can see which part of the brain is more dominant, right?
Mm.
It's the subconscious mind. Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens when we go into a hypnotic state, this critical factor, that line opens up. So the information now flows down into the subconscious mind. In this case, it would be positive information. In this
Yeah.
case, we're talking about weight loss or stopping sugar. So therefore, I flood your mind with positive suggestion, and it removes the negative suggestion. Therefore, your outcome is what it is that you want it to be.
Yeah.
That's the simplicity of it.
Would it be possible right now to say maybe to try and get me to not eat as much chocolate?
Absolutely. You just did it to yourself
Oh,
because that's what you want to do. So
wow.
therefore, that suggestion is now implanted into your brain, and now I'm going to give you a trigger. So anytime you see the color green, 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 it's going to automatically trigger that suggestion in your brain. So therefore, you're going to have an aversion to eating sugar.
Ooh, that's an interesting idea.
That's it. That's how simple the hypnotic process works. Now, in a formal setting, now in a hypnotherapy setting, it's a little more elongated, and we go through a process where we take you into the trance-like state and we go into relaxation and all of that. So that takes a little bit of time. But the rapid hypnosis is as quick as what just happened. And it's
Mm.
also what we just did here, Toby, is called an awakening hypnosis. So you didn't have to close your eyes, you didn't have to visualize, you didn't have to imagine, you didn't have to relax your mind. We just did it directly.
Yeah. How's COVID been for you? Have you been able to do hypnosis on Zoom? I mean, I suppose we've just done it here, but is it as easy not having a big crowd in front of you?
Yeah, here's the great thing. I've been doing this format long before it became popular, and because of COVID,
Oh,
I pioneered with the technology through Zoom, Skype, and all of the accessible things that we can do with our newest technology. Because I get calls from all over the world, all over the country, from people who are seeking help. And so I had to devise a plan because not everybody has the resources to come to Los Angeles and come
yeah.
to my clinic in Beverly Hills to get my services. So I had to put something together so I didn't have to turn away all of the people from around the world like yourself. So
Mm.
all of these formats for me, I've been doing this now for well over 16 years,
Wow,
just
that's
as
a
we're doing
long
it
time.
right now. So if
Yeah,
this was a personal hypnotherapy session, of course, everything's confidential and private. We
yeah.
do it exactly how we're doing it right now, as if you were in my own office.
Wow. Well, that's very interesting. So, where could we check out your hypnosis services if we're interested?
Well, you can go to the website, which is hypnotist.com. That's hypnotist.com. And there's a lot of great information on there. It's not just about me and all the TV shows that I've done and all the accolades and that kind of thing, which,
Mm.
by the way, you'll probably be seeing this interview on there as well, Toby.
Yeah.
So, but what you're going to see there, if you hit the resources tab and you go to the different tabs on the website, you will see free information on how to do this, all the questions that one has about hypnosis, all the fears, all the common questions, all of the things that people, normally ask about what this is. And if there's a question there that's not answered, and it generally is, you can email me. I answer my own emails, and I will answer that question for people, because I'm in the business of helping people to help themselves. And that's what my passion is. That's what my goal is for 25 years. And I'm going to continue till I'm retired, long past that, to really educate people, to inspire, uplift, and to allow them to achieve their maximum potential with this tool called hypnosis.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show today. It's been very interesting.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for having me, Toby. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do for the listening audience. What I'm going to do for the next 7 days only. So people listen to this for 7 days. At the end of the 7th day, the gift will be closed and they can no longer participate. But anyone who emails me at kevinstone@hypnotist.com, or just go to the website hypnotist.com, and then you can email me from there. And I'm going to give everyone who is listening now a self-hypnosis course valued at $175, free of charge. It's an MP3 download, where if you email me and you put in the subject line that you listen to this program, Toby's program, I'm going to send you free as an MP3 download how to get yourself into self-hypnosis and learn the power of how you can improve your life through that course.
Awesome. That sounds amazing. Thank you very much for doing that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's my gift to you and to the listening audience. And again, I'm here to help people as best as I possibly can, and through the resources and whatever I can do to get you where you need to be.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Awesome. Thanks. Bye.
Have a great one. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.